Welcome once again to Zemflix's videos. Einstein was born in 1879 in the city of Ulm, Germany. From childhood, he was seen as different because he was not like other kids. He was a very slow learner, started speaking late, and his teachers considered him an average or weak student. The reason behind this was that Einstein looked at everything with curiosity. If he didn't understand something in school, rather than memorizing it, he would try to understand its concepts. This always kept him behind in coursework. Einstein was creative from a young age, and this was both his weakness and, later, his strength. Einstein's early education took place in Munich, where he disliked the strict, discipline-based German schooling system. Eventually, frustrated, Einstein left school and moved with his family to Switzerland, hoping to fit into the liberal education system there. He wanted to get admission to Zurich Polytechnic College for physics and mathematics. In the entrance examination, he solved the math and physics papers quickly, but failed badly in other subjects like geology, literature, and politics. After the exam, one of the professors called Einstein to his office. Amazed by his answers in math and physics, the professor asked who had taught him. Einstein replied that he had learned everything himself. But since he failed in other subjects, which mostly required memorization, the professor told him that to get admission, he would need to spend another year preparing for the other subjects. Disappointed, Einstein returned to school for another year, and luckily, the following year, he passed the entrance exam for Zurich Polytechnic College. However, even after getting admission, Einstein's nature didn't change. He would skip boring lectures, study on his own, and was not much impressed by the professors. He was not someone who would flatter teachers. As a result, when Einstein graduated in 1900, his professors refused to recommend him for any job. Although he was very talented, Einstein had no strong references, no mentor to help him secure an academic or research job. At that time, in the field of science, getting a job heavily depended on professors' recommendations, a race in which Einstein was left behind. Consequently, his academically weaker classmates secured good positions because they had the professors' support. Einstein applied for jobs all over Germany and Switzerland, universities, schools, research institutes, but everywhere he was rejected. He wrote letters, met professors, but received the same response everywhere. "We are sorry. We cannot hire you." This was personally painful for Einstein, as he felt that people couldn't see his work and potential. His letters and diary reflect this frustration. Once, he wrote in his diary, "It feels like the world has no need for me. Every door seems closed." In a letter to his family, he wrote, "I apply everywhere, but receive no reply. It feels like nothing is going right in my life." In another famous letter to his girlfriend Mileva, Einstein wrote, "I feel like I've become a useless person. I only live for physics, but the world only listens to those who fit into its system." This frustration began to affect his personal life as well: financial stress, tension in his marriage, and dissatisfaction with himself. Another problem was that Einstein was highly idealistic. He was clear that he only wanted a job related to science. He had no interest in practical or commercial jobs. At that time, his affair with his classmate Mileva was ongoing, but they couldn't marry because Einstein had no job. Financial pressure was mounting. Mileva wanted him to earn, but Einstein felt completely stuck. Eventually, Einstein had to work as a private tutor, teaching school students math and physics to earn money. Finally, a friend advised him to apply for an examiner's job at the Bern Patent Office. It was a low-level government job, but at least a start. Einstein applied and, surprisingly, got the job in 1902 despite having little experience. At the Bern Patent Office, Einstein's job was to check new inventions and patent applications to evaluate their originality. The job was boring but served as a lifeline for Einstein. Since it was a 9-to-5 job, he used evenings and weekends for his scientific research. Although it wasn't the professorship he aspired for, it was better than nothing. Then came a turning point. While working at the patent office, in 1905, Einstein published 4 revolutionary papers in a single year, an event known as his miracle. These included special relativity photoelectric effect Brownian motion mass energy equivalence, known as E equals mg squared. These papers shook the scientific world. Suddenly, the man with a modest job at a patent office became a well-known name in Europe's scientific circles. His paper on the photoelectric effect laid the foundation of quantum physics, while special relativity changed humanity's understanding of space and time. Finally, in 1909, 9 years after graduating, Einstein received an offer to become an assistant professor at the University of Zurich. People have never fully understood Einstein's personality. Outside the world of science, his image has always been confusing. On one hand, people depict him as a funny, eccentric scientist with messy hair who was socially awkward and buried in books. On the other hand, he played a serious political role. In 1932, Einstein fled Germany after Hitler took power, since Einstein was Jewish and Hitler was strongly against Jews. Einstein moved to America and became a professor of theoretical physics in Princeton, New Jersey. He was not just a hero of science, but also a respected face of the global Jewish community. During this period, the creation of a Jewish state, Israel, was underway, which led to wars in Palestine. Eventually, in 1948, Israel was officially established. But just 4 years later, in 1952, Israel's first president, Chaim Weizmann, passed away. Now, the Jewish community was without a leader. Zionist leaders thought, why not make Albert Einstein the next president? After all, he was a renowned physicist and widely respected in society. He was not only a scientist but a political and cultural icon as well. On November 17, 1952, Einstein received a letter from Abba Eban, who was then Israel's ambassador to the United Nations. The letter stated, through this letter, Prime Minister Ben-Gurion sends you this message. If the Israeli parliament votes you in as president, would you accept this offer? If you agree, you will need to relocate to Israel and take its citizenship. The Prime Minister assures you that in such a case, you will have full freedom to continue your scientific work. It was a huge and emotional offer. But Einstein had different plans. His reply revealed yet another side of his personality. Einstein wrote back, I am deeply moved by the offer from Israel. But at the same time, I feel sad and ashamed that I cannot accept it. I have dealt with objective matters all my life. Therefore, I neither have the natural aptitude nor the experience to handle people and official responsibilities. In other words, Einstein did not see himself fit for political leadership. He was 73 years old when this offer came. He told a guest at his house that the offer was very awkward. Later, he explained to a Jerusalem newspaper that was campaigning for him, I don't want to face a situation where I have to follow government decisions that might go against my conscience. Einstein was not just refusing because he was politically unfit, he was refusing because he never wanted to go against his conscience, no matter how big the position or honor. People who were emotionally excited about the idea of making Einstein president of Israel forgot one important fact. Although Einstein was sympathetic towards Israel, he was never a passionate Zionist. In fact, 2 years before Israel was formed, in 1946, Einstein said before an international community, the idea of a state is not in my heart. In the end, on December 16, 1952, Yitzhak Ben-Zvi became Israel's second president. We hope you enjoyed this video from Zemflix. Thank you so much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing